A few weeks ago, we talked about the changing of the guard in the 100 meters and how sprinting as we know it is completely flipped on its head. For decades and decades, it was practically impossible to break 10 seconds as a junior athlete. In fact, the first time this ever happened was in 2014, when Trayvon Bromell from the U.S. ran his 9.97 at the NCAA Championships to take the win.
Trayvon Bromell, the freshman, does hold it.
9.99 seconds, unofficially rounded down to 9.97. The wind is legal, 1.3 meters per second. That's about 2.5, 3 miles an hour. That's fine. So an outstanding performance by both Locke and by Bromell, just 18 years of age.
This moment forever changed the expectations for teenagers when competing in the 100, and all the way up until the present day, since 2014, we have only seen this phenomenon occur more and more with each passing season. And in 2025 alone, we had 10 individual sub-10s from high schoolers, more than any other year on record. This kind of sprinting almost seems impossible when you analyze just how fast you have to go to break 10. You need to get out of the blocks super fast, you need to get up to top speed quickly as well, but most importantly, you need to have world-class top-end speed. 2025 brought us so much incredible talent in this sprinting event that we even saw a few high schoolers take down professionals, with Maurice Gleaton leading the way with his insane performance at the Star Athletics Sprint Series in Florida, where against Christian Coleman, Brandon Hicklin, Kendall Williams, and Jaden Slade, he somehow came out on top, running a slightly wind-assisted 9.82. Just insane. Breaking 10 seconds in high school used to be a pipe dream, but now it is practically an expectation. But in analyzing all of these amazing times and quick performances that went down in 2025, one athlete really stands out, and it's actually not because of what happened in the 100, it's because of what he did in both the 100 and also in the 200 meters. On May 3rd in 2025, the Texas State meet took place in Austin, Texas. And this really is one of the biggest meets that you'll see not just in high school sports, but in all of track in the nation. This was the one event that every high schooler had been waiting for, and in both the 100 and the 200 in the 6A championships, there was one athlete that absolutely went off. This is Tate Taylor, and in the 200 meters, he managed to drop a time of 20.14 seconds in this state final, more than 3/10 faster than anyone else, and when looking back at such a time, this is truly an amazing performance, as it now lands him as the 4th fastest prep sprinter of all time in the half-lap distance. And here's the extra piece of information that really made this performance so extraordinary. He was only a junior when he did this. This means that against many talented senior sprinters, Taylor just swept the floor with his top speed, and the fact that he did this at just 17 is nothing short of crazy. Here's a list of the fastest high school athletes across the world that have achieved a sub-10 in the 100. Now, you're probably familiar with many of these greats. There's Letsile Teboho from Botswana, there's Christian Miller, Bayanda Walatsa from South Africa, Purable Boonson from Thailand, there's Trayvon Bromell, Bawaji Nkrumah from Jamaica, and Ronald Lunga of Colombia. In the history of prep sprinting, only 9 athletes have ever gone sub-10, but over in the 200, the list is even more exclusive, as only 4 junior sprinters have ever cracked the 20-second barrier. This means that having the combination of strength and speed at such a young age is quite rare, but to have the national junior record in the 100 at 9.92, plus one of the fastest 200 times at 20.14 as a junior, truly makes Tate Taylor a one of one. Here's a chart looking at the fastest junior sprinters of all time when combining their 100 and 200 meter times. Now, the obvious barrier that any sprinter would want to break here is 30. This would be the equivalent to 10 seconds in the 100 and a 20-second performance in the 200. And throughout track and field history, only 2 junior sprinters have ever gone under 30 for their combined times. And these athletes are Letsile Teboho and Ariane Knighton. But super close behind are Purable Boonson at 30.01, followed by Bayanda Walatsa at 30.02, and very close behind these two is Tate Taylor at 30.03 seconds. This puts Taylor significantly ahead of many of the all-time greatest junior sprinters to ever compete. But here's something that's very important to remember. For Teboho, Knighton, Wolatza, and Parable Bunsen, they achieved these times at 19 years of age, while Tate Taylor achieved this at just 17. The only athletes that have ever even gotten close to 30 at just 17 years of age were Arion Knighton with his 30-second flat combined times, and very close behind is Tate Taylor at 30.03. And while we're on this topic, we simply have to address the recent news that Arion Knighton has been banned for 4 years for a doping violation, so it does make his inclusion here a little bit more complicated. But according to the World Athletics website and the testing rules, this is the current standings for the fastest 17-year-olds in history when combining the 100 and the 200 meters. If Taylor can improve by any margin at all in 2026, we're talking about various national records being broken in both the 100 and the 200, and maybe he could drop a sub 9.9 or even a sub 20, only time will tell. Right at 6 feet and 2 inches, Taylor stands significantly taller than most of his fellow high schoolers. But in the history of sprinting, he also stands slightly on the taller side. Taylor's tall and lean build, historically speaking, lends itself slightly more to 200-meter success. At least that's what we've seen from various athletes in this event. So considering that he is so strong in the 100 at his height, this could mean something very special in the 200 for 2026. Or we could also see something crazy like Usain Bolt, where he put on significantly more muscle and went on to dominate the 100. We just don't know yet. For the entirety of Tate's 2025 campaign, he was on a record-breaking tear from the very beginning. He broke the national record in the 200 at 20.46 on March 16th. He broke the national high school record in the 100 at 9.92 on May 3rd. He won the biggest 100 race in high school history with his 10.10 performance on June 22nd, breaking that championship record as well. And oh yeah, if we circle back to May 3rd, that was the exact same day where he ran his 20.14, meaning that over the course of just a few hours, Taylor became one of the most complete, all-around junior sprinters, not just in American history, but in world history. And remember, he still has yet another year of high school and junior eligibility, meaning that 2026 could be something special from Tate Taylor. And now I would love to hear from all of you about this very special sprinter from Texas. What do you think about Taylor's potential in 2026? What do you think he is set to do in both the 100 and in the 200 meters? And leave some time predictions down below. Do you think he'll get under 9.9? Do you think he'll finally get under 20? Or do you think he's set to do something even more special when looking at the indoor and the outdoor scene next season? Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, until next time.